So you're moving to Atlanta and you want to live the condo life here in Midtown, but the question is which condo to choose from, right? There's like a bajillion to choose from. So I'm going to conquer that today. I'm going to go show you around some different condo buildings, kind of talk over some of the pros and cons, some price points. So hopefully you'll get a better understanding of what you can get in Midtown. So stay tuned. Let's get talking all about living in Midtown right now. Hey you guys, it's Molly and welcome to my channel. If you are new or returning and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and hit that bell if you want to be one of the first to be notified when I do post another video about the Atlanta area. I am back in Midtown today. I've done a vlog tour of Midtown, just kind of showing you all the sites. And today I'm going to just focus on condos because I've asked you guys if you want to see more condo buildings in Midtown, and y'all said yes. So here I am in Midtown, going to be walking the streets today. I have a feeling I'm going to be getting my exercise. I've already ran 6 miles this morning, so yeah, I can feel I'm going to be tired after this. So condos in Midtown, there's a million to choose from. I'm just going to point out a handful, probably a dozen, and just kind of talk about some of the pros and the cons. And yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to possibly cover all of them today, but I will do my best to point out as many as I can. So we're going to get started right now. I am standing right behind one. Right behind me, this is going to be a smaller building. I don't know if you can see it very well. These are the Lofts at the Parc. These were built in 2001, and you're going to see this is a much smaller building. There's only 28 units, and these are going to have a very lofty vibe, like cement flooring, cement ceilings, exposed ductwork. The problem with this building, I think, is there's really no great amenities with this building. It's just kind of condo unit, so you're not going to get a ton of amenities, but the location is really good. If you're wanting to live right by Piedmont Park, I mean literally at the end of this block, bam, you're right there at Piedmont Park. You can go to the farmers market on the weekends, enjoy all the big festivities and festivals that they hold there at the Piedmont Park area, and you know, the list goes on and on of what you can do at Piedmont Park. But and you're actually not that far from the main street, Peachtree Street. You're probably 3 blocks away, so you have a really great location to just walkability and that kind of thing. Now, in terms of price point for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, you're looking at about average price range around $480,000. For a 2-2, you're talking more like $600,000. The HOA fee is going to be about $410 a month. Like I said, no real amenities. I would say that's kind of your biggest con. And then a lot of these don't have huge balconies, and you're not going to get great views. But again, great location. And I'm going to keep walking over to another smaller loft building right along by the park. And if you're wondering about the Beltline, you're probably only about just under a mile to access the Beltline, so not far from that. And I'm going up Piedmont right now. And when I turn the corner, you're going to hit almost 10th Street, and there's, you know, the Flying Biscuit, which can be dangerous. It's so good. There's a Subway. There is 10th and Piedmont, the restaurant. There's Blake's. So a lot of little restaurants that you can walk easily to. And then right behind me, this is an apartment complex called Azure. I think it's Azure. I don't know. And that's a nice apartment complex. I would say like all of these apartment complexes in Midtown, they're going to get pricey. You know, renting in Midtown is not cheap. Midtown is one of the more expensive places to rent in Atlanta. And I'd say even a 1-bedroom, you're going to be paying probably $2,400-$2,500. So, and the price goes up from there for a 2-bedroom. So, okay, I'm going to go show you right across the street the next building. All right, next up, I'm at Piedmont Park West. It's really just down the street from where I was at the Lofts at the Park. And this is going to be a little bit more of an upscale, lofty look. Not like cement flooring, but it looks, all the units that I've seen that I've sold here look really, really nice. And I'd say the average sales price is $455,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. That actually seems kind of low compared to the sales prices at the Lofts at the Park. but the HOA fee is a little bit higher here, averaging $630 to $680 a month. Now the amenities, there's not a lot of them. There is a rooftop deck that this building has, and this is like a garden style condo building. It's not a high rise, so it's only about I think I counted 4 floors, and it's only 28 units, built in 2001. But right down here, so this is at 11th and Piedmont, you can literally go down this street and you're going to be in the park. And I'm gonna walk down this way so you can see that there is a Willie's, a Mexican place, a Shake Shack, which is pretty new for Piedmont Park in Midtown. So I'll go show you that here in a second. And then, yeah, you're just a block from 10th Street. So there you go. There is another loft style building. Now I will say you're not going to get great views or cellar views on this condo building, but you are going to have a great location. So I'm here at the entrance of Piedmont Park off of Piedmont Road. So if you're living the condo life in Midtown, you can enter right here off of roughly 11th Street, I think? No, 12th Street. I get my streets confused, but you can enter here, and like right behind me, right here, this is where they set up for the farmers market, and it runs through like April through November or something like that. So it's a really good farmers market. You can get some great coffee, some carbs, and take a walk, and yeah, and then you're gonna see Midtown all behind me. So I'm gonna keep going up one more block up to 13th Street and show you a little bit more of a high-rise condo. All right, now I'm standing outside Park View. These were built in 2005, about 138 units, and these go for, on average, for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, $324,000. For a 2-2, you're looking in the low 400s. And I will say the lobby and the gym area, it's a little dated, but it's usable. And you're like half a block away from Piedmont Park. This is off of 13th Street. And hey, if you're into icebox cryotherapy, it's right next door. I'm not into that, but I'm just saying, if you like that kind of thing, it's right there. Another condo building I'll point out is right here. It's got a little bit of a blue awning. This is Ansley above the park. I've shown a condo unit here before. Again, feels a little older inside. I saw a really nice decorated unit. I will say the ceilings felt a little bit lower, and you don't get a amazing view of anything. It's just a lower building, but and in fact, the unit I saw, it was like overlooking a parking deck. So you got to be a little picky if you're wanting views. And if views aren't important to you, then I would say one of these lower high rises is going to be a better fit. And you probably won't have to pay quite as much. But let me keep going. I'm going to go around the block. And we're going to go right over here. I don't know if you can see those buildings there, but we're going to go hit that next. So here's a little gym right on Piedmont, right before 14th Street is the Nook. It's just a fun little hangout, grab a drink, get some bar food after work. So yeah, if you're living here close to Piedmont, you can go check out the Nook, and that might be your new happy hour home base. Okay, before I round the corner onto 14th Street, right again, I'm on Piedmont Avenue, and I want to point out an older condo complex building. This is Piedmont Hall. There's only 18 units in this building. This was built in 1942, so all of these are going to have a lot more charm. And actually, they don't come up for sale very often, and there was one for sale, and it was super cute. Like, they had renovated the bathroom and the kitchen. Super adorable. I'd say maybe the con on this one is that there's no elevator. It's just going to be stairs. Now, if you're coming from New York and you're in one of those old New York buildings, that's probably no big deal for you. But for us that are used to elevators everywhere, this might be a little bit of a shock. But literally, I mean, there's the entrance to Piedmont Park, so it doesn't get any better than that. The example that sold here recently was $375,000. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, about 900 square feet, and the HOA was $425. And I don't think there's really a ton of amenities. There might have been like a garden area, a community garden area, but that's kind of it. So there's a ton of these older condo complexes in the Midtown area that are going to be like 3-4 levels. With a lot more charm and character. So yeah, if you don't want a high rise, there's definitely a lot of these options as well. Okay, let's keep going. Now I'm over at the Mayfair buildings. These are all along 14th Street, and you guys, these, you know, when you're looking at them right at my angle, these don't look that fabulous, but when you see them from a skyline view from Piedmont Park, they are so beautiful, and they really help beautify the skyline of Midtown. But you would think these are like twin buildings, which sort of they are, but these are actually separately run HOAs. So one building, the Mayfair Tower, this was built in 1992, I believe. And the next tower, Mayfair Renaissance, was built in 2002. So definitely different decades. And at the Mayfair, let's talk about the Mayfair Tower first. So this one, it's going to be very much dated, and you're going to have like the smaller windows and kind of galley kitchens, and it's just going to feel older and lower ceilings as well. Now the Mayfair Renaissance, this one has a pool, and the people at Mayfair Tower can't just borrow the Mayfair Renaissance pool. That's completely separate, like I said, completely separate HOAs. The good thing about the Mayfair Tower is that the HOA is a little bit lower, but then I'd say roughly on average for the Mayfair Tower, your price point is going to be about $310,000. For the Mayfair Renaissance, you're looking at about $450,000. Now, both of these, the great thing is that they're not built so that one blocks the view of others. So if you get a higher floor, you're going to have amazing views of Piedmont Park. And if you're having a high floor on the other side, then you'll get more of the Midtown skyline view. So again, a little bit more dated units. Even in the Mayfair Renaissance, which is a little bit newer, nicer, there's still going to be some units in there that could use some love and some updating. But then I've also seen units there that have been updated. So it really just kind of depends on the unit and the homeowner, if they've done any work to them or not. Of course, the more updated they are, they're going to cost more. One other big important thing that I need to mention is that the Mayfair Tower does not have rental restrictions. And let's talk about the rental restrictions. You know, I get a lot of condo buyers. They're like, oh, I'm going to buy a condo and then I'm just going to rent it out. No. Okay, I mentioned this in another condo video that I had. So you can't just rent out your condo unit willy-nilly. Most condo buildings, especially in Midtown, are going to have rental restrictions. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, most condos are going to set aside 20 to 25% of their total units that can be rented out at one time. So, you know, let's just say, for example, there's 100 units in the building, only 25 of those units can be rented out at one single time. What I always suggest is if you're going to be buying a condo, put your name on that rental waiting list. You're going to be at the bottom of the list, and as a rental unit does become available, they'll start going down the list. When it comes to be your time, you can decide whether you want to rent out that unit or not. Now, I'll say another thing is that most of these rental waiting lists are long waits, like 3 to 4 to even 7 years. So, you know, if you think you're going to just buy one and then rent it out in a year, probably not. But this Mayfair Tower is one of the hidden exceptions or unicorns. They do not have rental restrictions, so if you're looking at investing, this would be a good option. As I leave the Mayfair buildings, I'm going to head up 14th Street, and you're going to see you're right along, or right around the corner from Colony Square, which has tons of restaurants, eating establishments. And then if you keep going down 14th, you're going to hit Whole Foods, which is a little bit newer to the neighborhood, probably in the last 5 years or so. So let's go, I'll show you around. So I'm not even a half a block from the Mayfair buildings, and right behind me we've got the W Hotel. And then you've got the start of the Colony Square, all the food. It's like a big food hall. And they've got a Chick-fil-A, just FYI, so if you need something quick, Chick-fil-A is right at your corner. So I've shown this Politan Row before, but it's just a cool place to get some bites to eat. They even have a cool little hidden bar that I've been to. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, cool little hangout spot, especially if you work in Midtown. You can just come lounge here, have some food, and enjoy the rate. I'm outside Roomy's Kitchen. If you haven't been, you gotta go, but bring an empty stomach because there's no way you're leaving there hungry. I ate there once and I felt like I couldn't eat for days. I stuffed myself. It's so good though. As I make my way down 14th Street towards Whole Foods, it's about another half a block away. I wanted to point out the Four Seasons. This is a hotel, obviously, but there are condos above the hotel room. It's called Above Four Seasons, and I know there's one for sale. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $950,000. Great views of the skyline. So yeah, if you're looking for more luxury condos, now I will say Midtown doesn't have as many luxury condos. They have some new ones that have been built, like One Museum Place. It's right across from the High Museum of Art. And there's 1240 West, which or 40 West 12th rather. I'm gonna show you that one in a little bit. But those are kind of like the two higher end condo buildings, and then you're going to get a sprinkle of them in of course, like the penthouse buildings are always going to be the most expensive in any condo complex, but yeah, you're going to find a few, but I would say Buckhead has more luxury condos, so I just want to point that out. Let's keep going. Okay, I don't even want to mention these, but I get so many questions about the 1280 West towers. I just personally don't like them. They're older, that's not my style, and they're a little set back away from kind of the heart of Midtown. You have to walk a little further to get to anything. But these are roughly off of, 16th Street and West Peachtree Road. It's right around the corner from the Arts Center MARTA station, so that's really convenient, and you're literally half a block down, you can see 7585. But this was a building built in 1989, and everything is just going to feel very dated. The lobby, they have tons of amenities. They have a jogging area, basketball court, racquetball, a fitness center, pool, but it looks like it's from 1989. And the elevators are just clunky. I rode up them and I thought, am I going to make it up to the level that I want to get on? It's just old inside, and the units themselves are smaller. The kitchen's small. They have popcorn ceilings. Some have been renovated nicely, but others haven't. And am I missing anything? But the good news about this building is that they are cheap, and that's why everyone's always like, oh, let me check out 1280 West, because the average price point for a 1-bedroom is $226,000. So that's kind of the upside, is that, if you're on a budget, this could be a great place. But have you seen the news lately? Because there was a crazy lady that came and shot the manager, unfortunately, of this building. She had some kind of controversy with him, and she went on a shooting rampage and shot a couple of people in the Midtown area. It was kind of a scary situation, and I feel bad for the family members that lost people, that the guys that worked here. So yeah, that was not good PR for this building. But anyway, I'm pointing it out because I always get questions about it. So I had one person reach out to me a while ago and asked, hey, can I live in Midtown without a car? You know, if you live in Midtown and you're watching this, let me know your thoughts. Let the viewer know your thoughts, actually, if you think you can live in Midtown without a car. Honestly, if there's anywhere in Atlanta that you could live without a car, Midtown would probably be that. But here's the thing. So like, if you just want to live in like a 1 mile radius in a bubble, then yeah, you could totally live here and you can walk or grab a scooter. But there's just so much more to Atlanta. And if you want to go anywhere, yeah, you can catch a MARTA, but it's limited in where it drops you off at, and most likely you're going to need to get an Uber. And after a while, getting an Uber could be really old, especially if you need to like go grocery shopping or go to like a Target. You can actually walk to a grocery store. Like there's the Whole Foods, there's a Publix, but getting to like a Target or something, unless I guess you could walk there if you want to walk 3 miles and a lot of traffic, and then you're limited on what you can buy. And I tell you, when I go shopping at a Target, I'm just buying 1 or 2 bags to carry with me. I'm packing my car full of bags. So in my opinion, while yes, you could live in Midtown without a car, you're most likely going to want a car to go to other areas of town like Buckhead, Brookhaven, other neighborhoods, like go out to eat over in downtown Decatur. So yeah, I mean, I would say that if you want to experiment, you know, move here, try living the life here for a couple of months without a car, see how it feels. You can get it by, but I would say most likely you're going to want a car. Okay, I'm outside one of the newest buildings here in the Midtown area. I call it the Google building, but it is not only an office for Google, but there is an Epicurean hotel and restaurant, and then also the luxury condominiums I was telling you about, that's 40 West 12th. So I'm gonna walk around the block and show you those real quick, but then right behind me there is the Northside Hospital. So if you got an emergency, you can go here. All right, I've mentioned these before in my Midtown blog tour, but I'll mention them again in case you missed it. 40 West 12th, this is like one of Midtown's newest buildings. It was built in 2021, and there's only 64 units, and they range in price from 1.1 and they go up to 2.8, 2.9. They're really, really nice, high-end upgrades, appliances, and the amenities are to die for. They're so good. They have this awesome like pool area with an indoor pool, and then there's the hotel outdoor pool, and you can take advantage of all of the hotel amenities as well in the restaurant. They have these wraparound decks if you're on a corner unit, and they have great views of the city. So really nice building. And the one thing I noticed is that they have like super fast elevators. Like if you're on the 17th floor and you hit for an elevator, you don't have to wait more than like 5 seconds before an elevator. They are quick. So I love these. Now, we'll say the HOA is pretty high, $1,100 to $1,800 a month, but great location just across the highway from Georgia Tech. So, you know, if you work there, or maybe you got a kid there and you want a place to land to visit them. There are some people that buy these just for kind of like a second home base when they're in the Atlanta area. And you're right around the corner from Tin Lizzie's, there's a Vietnamese place, then there's an Indian place, so great location. Side note, if you're driving down 12th Street just past the 40 West 12th buildings, you're going to notice these abandoned buildings. Don't worry, that's all going to disappear and be replenished with a new fancy building. I can't remember if it's condos or apartments buildings, but it'll be nice, and it's not going to obstruct the view from residents that live in 40 West 12th. All right, I'm back on the main drag on Peachtree Street, and I'm right at 11th Street, and I gotta point out 1010 Midtown. I love these towers. They were built in 2008. They were kind of like the hottest thing there for a while, and they have really great amenities. They have like a sky park, a pool, 24-hour concierge, club room, pool, fitness center, all that good stuff. The units, they run, you know, for a 1 bedroom, you're gonna do probably high 3s to low 4s, and then a 2-bedroom unit, you're going to start in the 600s, and they go up from there just depending on if they've been renovated. I will say if you get an original unit, the finishes aren't that great for the price point that you're paying. The HOA on these are in the mid 3s to 400s on a 1-bedroom, and they go up to $600 to $800 a month on a 2-unit. So yeah, some of them have been renovated really well, and then they obviously are going to be a lot more expensive, but it is a great location. You are about 2 blocks away from Piedmont Park. If you head down 11th Street, you've got Cafe Intermezzo right across the street, which has like a huge list of coffees and all of the desserts you could ever want. There's the Sugar Factory, there's a Panera Bread, there's more restaurants around the corner on Crescent Street. So you have a lot of restaurant options right at your fingertips. The highway is not too far away. So great location, and I just love how it kind of curves, the building curves with the curves of the street. So there you go, there's 1010 Midtown, and let me keep going. Of things I'll mention about buying a condo. So, you know, if you are financing it through a lender, they're going to be looking for certain things. They're going to require a condo certification, which kind of gives them an idea of like what the financials of that condo building looks like what are their reserves? Do they have money to fix things? If it's a low amount of reserves, you have to put a certain amount of percentage down. That's something to be aware of. Another thing is, you know, how many of the units are rented out. If there's a high rental rate, the lender may be picky about qualifying you for a loan, because if the building has tons of renters, usually the building's not taken care of as well, and so lenders may not want to lend you the money for that particular building. Another thing, if you're going to be buying a condo, is, you know, there are closing cost expenses, and one of those is an initiation fee to that condo building, which the initiation fee is usually twice the monthly HOA fee. So if your monthly HOA fee is $700, you're going to be paying $1,400 just to basically get into the building. And I think it's kind of absurd, because does it really cost $1,400 for the HOA to do some paperwork and get your name on the list of members in the building? No, but that's the reality of it. There was one more thing I was going to tell you, but now I forgot, so hopefully I'll think of it. Oh, remembered. They also charge an elevator fee, so like a move-in, move-out fee, which that can be $150, $250, and it's basically reserving the right for the elevator when you want to move in. So you guys, that is why you reach out to me. I know these things I can help you through finding the right condo and work you through getting under contract and making sure that we're getting you into a condo that fits your lifestyle and your budget. And you got to make sure that you're paying attention to all those HOA fees, because they vary by building. Of course, the bigger the unit, probably the bigger the HOA fee, and the more amenities the building has, the higher the HOA fee is probably going to be. But reach out to me, I got you covered. I will be here to help you out. Okay, now I'm outside of Plaza Midtown, and this is actually a 2-tower building. It is right off of Peachtree Walk in West Peachtree Street. And what I love about these is you can get a pretty decent sized 1-bedroom condo unit, and the prices here range around $353 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. And then if you're looking at a 2-bedroom, you're going to be in the mid 4s to low 500s. Oh, sorry, there's a bug flying. HOA fees are going to be around the mid 300s. In terms of the units themselves, they're going to be like the concrete ceiling but wood flooring, and they're going to be decent. You know, they're going to look a little dated for the time. I'll put some pictures up of an original unit. This is one I had sold years back, but there are some people that have updated their units. Of course, if they're more updated, they're going to cost more, but you get the floor to ceiling windows. You can get some great views of the Midtown and downtown skyline. So this is a really great option. And again, like if you're going to Georgia Tech and you want to buy your kid a condo to live in for the next 4 years, this would be a great option. Another thing that I love about these, I mean, it has all the amenities like a gym, a pool, and all that good stuff. Another thing that I like about these is that you literally can take the elevator down and get into the Publix. I mean, who doesn't want a grocery store in the basement of their house? So That's a pretty cool, unique option for this building. And you're only about a half a block away from the MARTA station, and across the street is a liquor store. So if you need some liquor, you can you can go across the street. And this is also very close to kind of like the Georgia Tech area. So you're going to see a lot of Georgia Tech students. I just saw some going into the Mark right here. This is a student housing building. So, parents, if you're watching and you got kids going to Georgia Tech, they could be living right here. And I would say this whole area is pretty friendly and nice. So if you got kids and you're worried about them, I think they'll be okay. Okay, right behind me, I would have stand closer, but there's a food truck there. It's making a lot of noise. But the Midtown MARTA is right behind me, and this is probably going to be where most of you go if you live in Midtown, to hop the MARTA and go to a sporting event downtown, or maybe catch the train to the airport, which drops you off directly into the airport. So it's really convenient. So whether you're living on 11th Street or 5th Street, you can easily walk over to this MARTA station. Okay, I am back on the main drag again, Peachtree Street, and you see where the Sweet Hut is? That's kind of right next to the entrance of the Metropolis building. Now, the builders of the Metropolis also built Spire and Viewpoint, and I've mentioned Viewpoint and Spire a couple of times in my Midtown vlog tour and then in my other condo video that I've done. So I'm not going to touch as much on those today, but I'm going to talk about the Metropolis one because this was one of the first to be built that was a big, over 350 unit condo building in the Midtown area. Then it's in a high rise. So the Metropolis is probably the cheapest of the three. It was built in 2002, and then came Spire at 2005 and Viewpoint in 2008. So you can find a one bedroom in like the Metropolis for $340,000, Spire maybe $350,000, and then the HOA fees, they can go from like $400 to $800. Obviously $800 is probably for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. The one thing with the Metropolis, you're not going to get as great of views as you would in Spire or Viewpoint because it's only 20 floors versus Spire and Viewpoint have much higher floors. I don't know what the number of floors are exactly, but so if you're looking for better views, check out Spire or Viewpoint. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more budget friendly, then Metropolis might be a great option. And all of these are great locations. The Metropolis is right under Orange Theory, and you can go probably half a mile and you're at Piedmont Parc. Same thing with the Viewpoint and the Spire, probably more like a mile to get to Piedmont Parc. So so those are some great options. And again, they're all built by the same builder, so they all kind of have a very similar style. Again, some people have gone in and renovated and put their personal touches on these units, and so they're going to feel a little bit different. But again, as they upgrade, the price point gets a little higher as well. Behind me, this is 903 Peachtree, and this looks like this is a new apartment building. And that's one thing in Midtown, you're going to find a lot of condo buildings, but also apartment buildings. Now, I'm not going to cover a lot on apartments. And Midtown, they can cost, like I mentioned earlier, like $2,400, $2,500 just for a 1-bedroom, and then $2,800 for a 2-bedroom. All right, now I'm standing outside of a boutique condo building. This was built in 2016. It's 7th Midtown. It's right off 7th and Peachtree Street. So you got a great prime location of Peachtree Street. Watch all the parades that go by. There's a Dunkin' Donuts around the corner. There's a Starbucks in the bottom part. These all have very high-end finishes, and they have some great wraparound porches. And it's only 8 floors high, so you're not going to have like the most stellar views probably. These range anywhere from $775,000 up to $1 million on average. The HOA fee is $1,500. The penthouse sold for like $1.75 million. So right behind you got like this little mini mart, so that's actually very convenient. And there's tons of little restaurants around here. There's a Fresh to Order, which I always like for a nice healthier lunch option. So it's a great location. Again, high-end finishes. Obviously the price point reflects that. tell you about the Cornerstone Village condos. Now this is kind of a strange setup. So the main entrance is off of Peachtree Street. It's 800 Peachtree, right by Einstein Bagels. But it's like 3 different buildings into one. So you got like this one building that is a loft building. Then there was like this office space that was converted into lofts. And then you've got like right behind me more of like a garden apartment style condo buildings, and there's over like 300 units here. The great thing about these is you're just right off of Peachtree Street, right in the between 5th and 6th Street, so right kind of in the heart of Midtown. So great location, also great location to Georgia Tech, but the price point is really good. So a 1 bedroom is probably in the mid-2s, and a 2 bedroom is in the low 3s. So that is really great if you're kind of watching your budget a little bit more, but still want to be kind of in the heart of everything. This is a great value. And I'd say the styles really vary depending on which unit you're looking at, but all kind of have like, you know, the buildings, not the garden style buildings, but the other buildings have more of a unique loft feel. And then these apartment style buildings, they're kind of like lofts that want to, or apartments that want to be lofts. Like it has some exposed ductwork, but that's kind of it. So anyway, there you go. This is a little bit more affordable option, and the amenities are pretty good. They're not like the, you know, best I've ever seen, but they do have a dog park. There's a pool. There's a small little gym. I think there's like a little billiards room. So you got some options here. They're not the fanciest, but you know, they'll do. Okay, if you don't like all of the hustle and bustle and being right in the middle of everything on Peachtree Street, then if you just go a block down either way in Midtown, and really actually I would say closer eastward towards Piedmont Park, it's going to give you a little bit of a calmer feeling in Midtown, a little bit of a different vibe than so like in your face noise. So I actually much prefer being a block off of Peachtree, but I want to show you a condo building right here. So right behind me, this is 905 Juniper. It's at let's see, 8th and Juniper, and this is like an 8-story building. It's only like 96 units. It has all of the amenities. It has like a rooftop pool, fitness center, 24-hour concierge. The styles are anywhere from traditional to a little bit of a lofty look. And you can get a 1-bedroom unit here in the mid-300s, and then a 2, oh, that scared me, that cop siren. 1 bedrooms in the mid-3s to low 400s, a 2-bedroom in around the 560K range is the average. The HOA fee though is going to be pretty high, $700 to $800 a month. It's just a smaller building, it's a boutique building, so you're going to be paying a little bit more. It's got a cool little bar at the bottom, the Lawrence, little fun place to get a cocktail for happy hour. And then so this building was built in 2006, I think. And then kind of an extreme end. So this is 908 Juniper, just right across the street. And this is an older building. It was built in the 1920s. I believe it was converted into condos in the 1996 range. 26 units total. Here you can get a 1-bedroom kind of low 3s and a 2-bedroom in the mid to high 3s rather. The HOA is going to be around $300. There's really no amenities except maybe a courtyard. And there can be some really cute renovated units here. I showed one here though that was a little quirky at one point. This was a long time ago. I remember it was a very small closet that shouldn't even been called a closet. But I have seen also some sales in here that have been super, super cute. So, you know, again, you're not going to have amenities and you're not going to have an elevator, but that's what you're going to get kind of in this older garden style type of building. All right, you guys, that is it for today. That's my condo tour of Midtown. I hope this was helpful for you. You know, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, whether you're moving tomorrow or next year. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you, and hopefully I can help you out a little bit. And like I said, Midtown, there's so many condos to choose from. This was just a small snapshot of some of the main ones and some not so main ones, but hopefully this helped you out. But you guys, I definitely got my steps in today. I'm gonna go take a break. So until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.